Who told you? Who told you? Who told you? What? God design, God design.
Good evening, boy buddies. What's the deal? You know what time it is. We got a super duper show, y'all, for tonight. Action packed, guarantee that you don't want to miss this one. Welcome to the Boerboels Show. I'm your host, Jordan Pittman with Exotic Boerboels. On this show, we talk about the best dog in the world. The South African Boerboel, the dog that we love, the most complete dog that's equipped to deal with modern society. We are speaking from a point of 17 years of experience, intimately involved with this breed on a day-to-day basis. The sacrifices that we have made is evident in the evolution of our exotic bloodline. Thank you for joining. Good evening, board buddies. What's the deal? Y'all ready for this show tonight? We're gonna get into something. Guess what, y'all? I found some history. Got into some history. I found some archives, brought back some memories, got me reminiscing, thinking about what we used to do and the things that we used to go through. We're gonna go back because it was the trip down memory lane. We went to the back in the days, back in the good old days. Yes, sir. The dogs is singing when the sirens go past. Yeah, so back in the good old days, we're talking about the good old dogs. And a lot of times people will want us to talk about how the Boerboel has changed over the years, how it's evolving, and with the state that it's going to, and the original Boerboel, and what was it like, and the original dogs. And this, pardon me, it's fascinating to me because I am used to a pedigree enthusiast looking and trying to, because we don't have many Boerboels here in the United States. The large percentage of the production or the breed stock is in South Africa. The dogs in the history is in South Africa. So we looked at those dogs in the past. I would just study pedigrees and just think about the dogs and looking at them and just study the dogs, the productions of them. And I think it's important that we realize where we come from, how did we get here? Where are we at today in terms of where we started, and are we making progress? Are we moving forward, and are we moving backwards? And I hear a lot of conversations about the Boerboels of the past, the Boerboel. So we're gonna get into it a little bit. We're gonna take a trip down memory lane. What's on with my Boerboel family, y'all? Hopefully that everybody made it through the week stress-free or overcame their stress, anything obstacles that they had to deal with. Made it here safe and ready to pick up on some of this information that we willing to share. Hopefully that it'll aid you in some type of way, make you a better person, make you a better breeder, make you a better breed dog owner, Boerboel owner. So the first dog that we're going to pull up, we're going to have our special guest host come in and join, and we're going to just tour these dogs and really get an understanding. Maybe you will see something in these dogs from the past in your dog that you have today. You'll get an understanding of where this dog come from, where the Boerboels come from, because I think it's going to be really interesting. We're going to start off with one of the greatest dogs of all time. And if you don't know, this dog's name is Lorina Mack. He's probably evident. He's probably evident in many pedigrees. Lourina Mack. And it's interesting story behind this dog. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna pull it up for you all to see. If you go to, let me see, present. So check this out. I was actually browsing the internet, doing my research, because I think about you, our board buddies, here all week long, and I want to make this informative and make this relevant and stand the test of time. Something that you can always reflect on. But just because this is just because this is a bit of history, we're gonna take it back. Look at this. I found this. Remember, I told you all about the message boards back in the day that we used to go on before Facebook and Instagram was really popular, before MySpace. This is what we did. We went to these message boards, we would post a message, and then people can go and read the message and then respond to the message back in the day. So I found this post about Lorina Mack, and it was from author Jenny W., which is Jenny Wells. If you RIP to Jenny Wells. She was a breed connoisseur, highly respected in South Africa, highly respected really across the world, her opinions and ideas. And so it was really, you know, I thought that she was pretty cool. We didn't always agree. You know, they always been critical of me. But she was willing to exchange the information. So she shared this funny story. She had actually visited South Africa, shares a story about Lorina Mack from some of the old time breeders. This guy scored 96.5, which was based off of the way that they had deducted the scores. Here's the story. And they said that this dog was still siren litters for over up to 15 years old. He was in the hills. They mated them in private. Nobody ever saw the dog. You know, that was kind of one of the stories behind this dog. But let's take some pictures of the dog. I thought that was funny. That was interesting. R.I.P. to Jenny Wells. She was actually the breeder of Dylan, which is a highly respected dog in the United States, or across the world, really. He's been contributing to the breed. But let's take some looks at. Let's take a couple looks, and I just want to take a look at what was my question, because this was just funny. I want to share this with you all, my audience. So this was back in 2009. When to line breed. No, just in. Okay, here goes. Closed breedings are supposed to blocking in tight. But this is the type of questions that I had always. This is the type of things that I've always been interested in. What I'll do, board buddies, because we're gonna keep the show rolling, keep it on task. But you can go back and research and look at yourself on those boards. They're on Voy forums. And you just type in Boerboel forum Voy, and you can go and look in yourself and see some of the stuff, some of the messages and stuff, and some of the comments. And I'm on there from the way back, and that's in 2009. Those messages is from, and yeah, so it's interesting. So let's take a look at this dog. Lorina Mack was a. Here he is. And just browsing, looking at Lorina Mack. It's still kind of hard to, I mean, you know, this dog was born in like 19. Where you at, fam? Let me see. Oh, there we go. What's up now?
What's going on, brother? Am I on here?
Yeah, you in there.
Okay. The screen looked different than usual. I'm real small in there today. Okay.
Okay, no, oh yeah, because I got the we was looking at a dog.
You know, I don't know about these computers like you, brother.
Oh, it's all good, family. How's my big bro doing today?
I'm sorry, I'm late. I apologize. I was trying to figure out how to link my Instagram and Facebook up. I guess we just gonna have to do it together later. I was trying to figure it out, and I couldn't figure out how to, so they could see it on my Instagram. So we'll just make sure we get that corrected for next show.
Oh yeah, that's all right. That's okay. Yeah, we're gonna get it together, man. You know, we always learning and evolving.
I thought you was gonna say, and we always late.
Hey, but we slow, but we for sure. We made it though. We made it. That's the main thing.
Apologies again.
All good, family. Hey, we you know what we do? We make it up on the back end and give them a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we were just looking at some dogs. I was kind of peeling through some old pedigree. You right on time, to believe it or not. You right on time.
Okay.
So we was just peeling through some of the going over some old ancestors, looking at some old dogs from the past, looking at Lorina Mack. This dog is probably heavily featured in every single pedigree. You know, I seen some pedigrees containing Lorina Mack at like 16, 17 times, even in some of my own pedigrees. I mean, this dog is a prolifically intertwined in our bloodlines. You can see he was born in 1987. So this was just 4 years after the establishment of the Boerboel breed. And you see he was like, is this his pedigree here? So we got several different databases. Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay, let me show you. Let's see this. This is on the dog files. Bring this up here. Yeah, so he was born in 1987, and his parents, these old bloodlines were some of the original establishing bloodlines. You see here, the pedigree goes back to some unknown dogs. So these are the dogs, the foundation of the Boerboel breed, 3-4 generations out. Okay, Lorina Mack, you can see him behind a lot of bloodlines. You're gonna see him featured heavily in the Middle Poles blood. You're gonna see him featured heavily in the Cabaret bloodlines. You know, 3-4 times in those dogs, 6-7 times in some dogs. He was just a prolific producer. I even found a one of the old pages back when I used to go on the reference on the message board, have a conversation with Jenny Wells, one of the highly respected in Boerboel community. She is the one that produced the dog Dylan. This was one of the top producing dogs of this time right now. She passed away, but yeah, we was having a conversation. So she has talked about how this dog scored a 96.5, and the reason that he had this highest score was because they had reversed the appraisal system. So remember that, you know, during this, when they first came out with the breed, this was the first dog that they attempted to score in this fashion. They had reversed the appraisal system where they started at 100% and then worked their way down, and he scored a 96.5. They wanted to reevaluate the dog and have him score it again the normal way, where he works his way up towards the points. But the dog had already had the 96.5. He ran for the hills, and the dog was never seen again. The way that they made it, the dog was they dropped the dog off. People would drop their dog off, and then he was mated in private. You come back and pick your dog up, and he was pregnant. This dog lived, they say, with siren litters up until 15 years old. Nobody had saw the dog. So that was a funny story. That was just over some wine. She left it to you, draw some own conclusions. R.I.P. to Jenny Wells. But then, so you're talking about all dogs, but just touch on one of my old dogs since it's here in the images. This was my original female dog that I started out with, just for history's sake. We're talking about here one of my original female dogs, Dapper Greek. And she's out of these. You'll see some of these dogs that we're talking about featured in this bloodline. This is on my website, so we'll share that link. But yeah, so what you think about this dog, bro? Can you see him? I don't know how big that picture is. You still there, family? Oh wow, Jason, where you go? Well, yeah. So we're looking at dogs. We're going over these dogs. We can't comparing them to the modern dogs of the day. And yeah, we're going over the dogs, comparing it. So that was the story behind this dog. That was the story behind him. Lorina Mack, heavily featured. We're gonna go on to the next. Our next specimen is Donker Hock Calpoop. Oh, my fault. Let me put the link out there. If anybody want to join, this is a community show. First of all, this is a community-based show. Let me make this clear. Anybody is welcome to join. We welcome all opinions. As long as it's maintained and respectful, you is welcome to come on and contribute, voice your opinions. and we can have a conversation. If you're welcome to join in, all you have to do is click the link in the bio. Rick, bro, what happened, man?
Oh man, my son called me and everybody else called me, man. I apologize. I gotta get on the laptop and stop doing this on my phone, but it kicks me off every
Yeah.
time I get a phone call. Nate texted me. Nate was trying to get on. I don't know if you can send him a link.
Yeah, I sent the link.
Oh, you sent the link to him?
I just made the announcement.
Okay.
And
All right, cool.
oh snap! I think I forgot to go live on my Instagram.
Yeah, we'll get those couple of bugs filled out.
Yeah, it's working now though.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I was saying, you know, this dog is what you think about? You heard the story about
No, I
how
just
he
got
started
back
off.
on now. I just got back on just now.
Yeah, so interesting point about this dog. He scored a 96.5. They reversed it, the appraisal system. He started off, and this is via Jenny Wells. So, you know, this was a person that was very prominent in the breed. Do your history, your research. If you look up Jenny Wells, Boerboels, she had the Qualvedas dog Dylan. This was her opinion. She had knowledge of, this was over some tales and stuff. She had did her research. And I'm really appreciative of her because she had was willing to engage and participate, answer questions and stuff. And she said that they had reversed this dog's score and sent him over the hill. You know, he went to the hills. They had started the appraisal system. This was in 1987. You know, the breed was founded in 1983. What's going on here? So, yeah, the breed was in 1983. That's when the breed was founded. In 1987, they revamped the appraisal system. So where they reversed it, starting their score started off with a 100. Come on in, family. So yeah, you're bringing in Nate. We got Nate from Savage Kingdom Midwest joining in, and welcome to the show.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, probably spin your you got the light, spin your camera around so that the light is facing, you know, your back to the light.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
What's
Welcome
up,
aboard,
bro? What's
brother.
going on?
Welcome aboard.
What's up, man? Just getting in.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, listen. It's never too late to be
puppies,
great.
Huh?
What's up, man?
Out there delivering puppies to satisfied clients, huh?
Oh, that's what we do, right? Every day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what it's about. It's about the clients, right?
That's as long as they're happy, we're happy. That's all
That's
that matters. Right. Happy clients, happy life. Jordan's over here giving us a good class on some of the past dogs and their pedigree, some of the top dogs in the history.
Yeah,
hey,
we were just tweaking it.
If anybody would know, it would be him, right?
Yep.
Man, you know, I'm just speaking from back in the days. You know, I just did a lot of research. It was funny stories. I always have asked about these questions because coming from, you know, dog breeding and the stories and stuff with background in dogs, you know, you have these patterns, and I would like to know. I want to do it the right way. And line breeding and inbreeding, we had discussed this. Has been something that we discussed on the show, and it was just something that interested me. It's on the Void message board from 2009. The conversation had came up. They said that they had reversed the appraisal system. So they started, this was in 1987. They started scoring the dogs from 100% going the other way. So your dog started off with 100%. This dog scored a 96.5. And they're like, whoa, wait a minute. That's too high. We need you to bring the dog back so we can rescore it again. Dude was like, oh, no, I'm cool with my 96.5. I'll take it. And he had the highest score. He bred the dog for up to 15 years old. They said that the dog just disappeared. You dropped the dog off. It was mated in private. And this was the story from Jenny Wells. I just thought that I would mention that because it's a funny thing, funny story about the dog. He sired many litters. He was a great contributor. We're going to get in. We'll even get into some of his progeny as we go on, because we have different dogs that is sired from him on down the lineage. But this is one of the earliest dogs in the history. Are you familiar with Lorina Mack?
I'm not.
No, I'm not either. Never heard of them.
Okay. Well, yeah, well, that's some good information. And then well, how about Quavetus, Jenny Wills, and Dylan?
I know about Jenny Wells because of you.
Oh,
okay. You talking about Dylan, Partners in Crime, Dylan?
Yeah, Partner in Crime, Dylan. Yep. She bred that dog.
Okay, yeah. So he's a real famous dog in this current time here for sure. Everybody's trying to get some.
Right. So yeah, that's what I was speaking to, her reputation, you know, that she was very prominent, highly respected in the breed. Nastera is using the blood to evolve his dogs. It's one of the highly sought after, Jenny Wills, but it was the conversations that we had. So did this go to the experience? Did this speak to the experience of the history? We're talking about history. So we're going into the Dunker Hock Calpoop. Are you familiar with that dog? This dog's sired. You can see some of these offspring off of Lorina Mack here. And you'll see some of the offspring, you know, Anton is one of his, that's a Corma Bucks son. This dog right here is what brought me to the Boerboel. And if you see here, he's a Lorina Mack great grandson. We're gonna get into some of these other offsprings, but here's the next one that I thought was really worthy to mention, was this dog Dunker Hock Calpoop. I don't know if I'm saying it right or wrong, but in my pedigree research, I saw that this dog, if you have him included in your, Dunker Hock Calpoop, I'm gonna show him now. You got something that's worthy. This was a dog that they seem to seek out and use. Here he is right here, Dunker Hock Calpoop. You see he had a lot of volume, length, and I thought that was interesting. I think one of the things that why it's so important to get good pictures is, you know, these pictures that go down in history is timeless. They don't, you know, if you, especially a picture like this that goes along with the dog for the breed profile or whatever, you know, his pedigree. This, you know, think about this is like 1981 when this dog was born. So look at the physique. I mean, this is an old picture. You can see that this dog has some length. He has some height. You can see the strong development in the chest. These are the features that it seemed like they was seeking out the pioneers of the breed, the early breeders, early in the days. He produced Piona Vegar, which is another dog, you know, that was again reoccurring throughout the breed. You're gonna see this in your pedigrees. Dunker Hock Calpoop, highly influential male, large, nice muscular body. You can see he had that decent, you know, from what I can gather, just looking at the powerful rear. I like the way that his chest, he got the barrel chest with the way that the abdomen is tucked in. I mean, I'm looking at the neck, it looks pretty thick, but I don't, he's got a longer muzzle, but it still seems like the width at the back of the head is appropriate to match. So I think, you know, what you think about this dog, my Boer buddies, my Boerboel brothers?
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about structure and stuff, I think that's definite of what you're looking for. It's a good representation of the breed and something everybody could aim towards in the end. You know, I mean, everybody's got something that they're building around or what they're doing, but if you can add what that dog looks like into your program, and you know, like us, like we like the bigger head, the bigger bone, the bigger chest. If you can take part of that dog and still have all that, then he'd definitely be a good addition to a program for sure. Any blood comes from him.
With the length that dog has and the structure that he has and the volume I'm looking at, I don't know if I coined the term, but it's the term that I've been using a lot lately, lion hunter. That's to me what I'm talking about when I'm saying a lion hunter. A dog that looked like that if you really have 8 to 10 of them, that you'd stand a chance against a lion, at least driving it away. So when I say lion hunter, I don't mean that it's actually going out there and hunting lions, but if you're in a peculiar situation, that at least those dogs will give you enough time to get away if you got 10 well bred of them. So that's what I consider a lion hunter.
Yeah, the size. To me, you look at the length. He definitely looked like more of the huskier variety of dog. You know, I
That
think
lift
that
and height adds size. Like, it's the difference between in the NFL, it's the difference between a 6'2", 250-pound linebacker or a 6'8", 290-pound defensive end, right?
right,
That's that big JJ Watt. That's that big defensive end.
Miles Garrett.
That's what I'm talking about, because that lift
Yeah,
and that height. Yeah.
yeah. And I like the dog. I think that when they say, when you comparing, you talking about a dog that's born in 1981. We talking about a foundation dog of the Boerboel breed that was established in '83. You talking about a dog that I could still see have value today. I don't see a whole lot of this is really a dog that could fit in the inbreeding program. And if you look at him, he look to me, I'm thinking, I'm putting me in the mind frame, I'm kind of Akbar.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I call Akbar a lion hunter. The length and the height and the size. And if that dog has the temperament you have, of course, six of them's not gonna kill a lion. So I don't want people to think that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying their original job, maybe 6 to 10 of them could run one away, could deviate, not a pack of lions, but a single lion, a young male. Get them to leave your cattle alone. You make them think that there's easier prey out there. There's easier prey than coming to get our cattle, because this is what I got on my ranch. That's what I call a lion hunter.
Yep, that's definitely a beautiful specimen. No matter, there ain't nothing anybody could say about that dog.
Timeless. You can plop that dog out here today, and he'd be, again, well sought after still, just like he was then.
Check this one out. This is Piona Luger, which is one of his grandsons. And like I said, he was one of the foundational dog. He established many kennels. Piona was, old school breeder, very prominent in the early 2000s. This Piona dog is the son of Piona Vegar. But we're going to talk a little bit about Luger a little bit later. But Vegar, here's one of his sons. Like I said, it's so many. You see how many offsprings. A strong representative of the Piona and the Smith lines. Look at all of these Piona dogs that he produced. I have some notes on him. I think that I might have the exact numbers.
Yeah, and while you're looking for that, let me go ahead and give you some flowers real quick while you're looking at that. People have their made up opinions and stuff like that, but you're looking at a guy here that I learned a lot from, and Jordan. That's assembling his own database. He didn't have a database given to him. He's assembled a database. He's put the knowledge in his head, and he's put the puzzle pieces together. Just like a registry, they had that handed to him. This guy has built the building blocks by himself, has put it in his brain housing group, and is sharing it. He's not keeping it hidden that it's only with this registry or that registry. He's sharing some information with you that you can learn from, and that you don't even know that's in your pedigree. Because when you get your pedigrees from these registrations, it's only going back to the great grandparents. You're not finding out about these great grandparents like he's showing you today, which is really essential, because this is where the fruit fell from these trees that he's giving you for free, that nobody else will tell you. They just keep it to themselves. And again, this man has hand assembled this piece by piece, information by information. So that's kudos, brother. Kudos.
Thank you, big bro, man. I it's just something that I don't even really think about it. Is I look at this stuff. It's just something. It's kind of a hobby to me. But I want to share the information, because information, knowledge is power. We're going to arm ourselves by knowing. And I found out something very interesting. I think that this is this is going to be huge. I want to see what y'all going to say about this. But this information, this ancestral, this is like our heritage. This is like where we come from. And, we get an idea, even though we don't get to talk to these old breeders, we still can see their vision. We can still see, what did they like about the dog? Because what does this picture tell us? If we have to describe the dog, this picture to a person that's blind, and I would say a dog with a nice body, tall and torquey, compact, comparison. And this gives us an idea of what the breeder saw. What did this picture say? This is the chosen picture that they used to represent this dog. It's going down in history. So we fast forward 10 years, 1991. This dog is a Vegar, his son, Dunker Hock Calpoop. I think it's good to see when they paired these dogs together, what did it produce? What was the outcome? What was this dog's contribution? We don't have many of the mothers from back in the day. They didn't take a lot of pictures of the moms, but the sires, though, you can see a lot of pictures from the sires. So I think it's valuable information. It's a tool. At the end of the day, bro, I feel like I done served the Boerboel breed, and I'm looking to actually prepare this for the next generation. I want people to be able to use this as a frame of reference where they can come back and look at these shows. Oh, I didn't even for some reason.
That's why I like being on the stage, especially like with you, and then you got Nate, who just in 2-3 years been in the breed. You can ask this guy anything about DNA when it comes to colors. When you put this dog to that dog, the K gene, the Y gene, I'm just making up genes, but this guy has taught himself about what dogs are carrying this, what dogs are carrying that. He stays just in the basic DNA of these dogs. So when you put two minds like you together, you can just figure out how to bring back some of these older dogs, how to bring back that you can almost clone these dogs if you know which ones to put together. From the modern stock, if you look at what you got from the modern stock, their lineage, if you can get the pedigrees to go back far enough, people like you and Nate can recreate these dogs and bring them back to where they were when everybody really loved them and they were working, athletic, beautiful dogs. And then we can still add some size to them.
Exactly.
So on top of that, like you said, I'll go to Jordan for a history lesson any day of the week when it comes to the Boerboel. This guy knows, more than anybody I've talked to personally. And I would also put him up against anybody anyway. He talks about all these old, this ain't like he's putting on a show with these old dogs. You can get on a phone anytime from the first time I've ever talked to him, and he talks about the old school dogs and bringing them up. So Jordan, your knowledge of the history is, there ain't nobody that can touch it whenever, that I've talked to. So then we take that. So like you said, then we talk about my color and all that. So my thing is I enjoy what I'm doing. Some people don't, but with the color and all that, I'm loving it. If I could take one of these dogs right here that he's showing, if I could build a dog with that stature and put the color to it, well, people are going to rave over that, and there's no doubt they rave over the color and it in itself. And we do everything we can to build the best dog possible with the color. We ain't just throwing dogs together to make a color. That's not what we're doing. No matter what anybody says, I've been offered another black and tan female just to make black and tans, and I said no. I'm waiting for the perfect one. When I get the black and tan female that I need and want, and I can make 100% black and tan litter, that's what I'll do. But it's going to be the right dog. So if I could take one, if you give me a black and tan dog that looked like that, yeah, that's what I'd be doing.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
This is a Boerboel breakdown and discussion right now, ain't it?
Breaking it down, man. I appreciate that from y'all, man. It means a lot. It means a lot. I appreciate that coming from y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's because to me, I'm just a regular old dude, and I'm just trying to give in my all every day, and I want to just set it up. I'm trying to thinking about others. Like these are the kind of questions that I had when I started. And I wanted to know, because these decisions that we make today is going to impact our breed going into like the next 5-6 years. Your breeding decisions that you make right now is going to impact your program for many years to come. And if you know, so you want to make sure that you're trying to make the most informed decision that you possibly can, and you weighing all the potential outcomes. You want to study the different, you know, the sisters, the aunts, the uncles. You know, this is how you, versus just looking at the piece of paper, and then you bring it back and you add that into the final conclusion of your dog that's before your very eyes, the dog that you're looking at that's in front of you, and then you breed the dogs together. I mean, it's just so fascinating to me, man. It's something it's in my heart, you know. And I think that's what brings us all together at the end of the day. We love what we're doing. You know, it's a passion thing. But that's where it fuels us. It's something that is pure. You know what I'm saying? It's positive. It's something that we're going to get farther. It's something that can help. It shines through the darkness. You know what I'm saying? It brings great people together. So I love it, man. And I appreciate that for coming from y'all, because I'm just trying my all, giving my best. You know, I just want to do my
brother.
best.
Great job, and everybody keep tuning in every week, because this guy, I love to surround myself with smarter people like Jordan and Nate, and so we're gonna get down here and we're gonna discuss these dogs. We're gonna get into pedigrees. We're gonna not only dwell in the past, we're gonna look at future breedings, future dogs, some of the top dogs that's around present day. We're going to discuss them and some of the impacts that they have. We're just going to, anything that you guys want to know or need to know about this breed, we're going to be discussing this weekly. So this is going to be something that you're going to want to set your alarm clock to and come back to. So you're going to want to set your alarm clock and come back to this.
And we learning too.
Somebody said why Sabs isn't accepting the black and tan. So from my knowledge, the black and tan has been around even longer. It's one of the original colors. It was just undesirable. It's always been an undesirable. So it was an undesirable color, but undesirable to who? Undesirable to who? Some of the people that first bred it, but that doesn't mean it's not desirable today. So it's not a mix. It's not a Doberman or a Rottweiler or another breed that was introduced to the dog. It's been here forever since the inception of the breed. It just wasn't one that they were necessarily looking for. But today's 2024, you know, people are looking for that color now. It's a growing popular color.
Everything evolves, right? Everything evolves. It's constantly changing. So sometimes you got to get on board with the change. Now, just because we're the black and tans are coming to the forefront, we're not like, I'm not the only one with a black and tan. Jordan's got a black and tan. He mentioned Noxterra. Noxterra has a phenomenal black and tan as well, Rolo. And he had that dog before I ever got mine. Whenever we posted death, it kind of seemed to take off a little bit and give a little more headway, and people are looking for these black and tans. We have 2 blue and tan males here as well. And yes, I've done my research on the genetics and all that with the dogs I've produced and what they carry. And it's going to take a while, but we'll produce some blue and tans. Like, that's what people don't understand. You don't just take a black and tan dog and put it to any dog and get black and tans. You don't take a blue and tan dog and put it to any dog and get blue and tans. There's a lot of things that have to come together in between 2 dogs to actually ensure that you get those colors. So it's a process and it's going to take time, but we're doing it the right way. And we can guarantee you, when you see it from any of us 3 right here, any of us, that it will be 100% Boerboel. There's not going to be no mix and breed in these dogs. It's the genes that the Boerboels are already carrying.
Yeah, I mean, it was very surprising to me when I popped out with the litter of black and tans. It came from nowhere, man. And I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. It was 9 out of 11 dogs we had black and tan.
And you didn't even use a black and tan dog.
No, right. I didn't even use no black and tan dog. I've never had that before, and I've been breeding the same exotic line. I found I had that, and I've been using the same dogs. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Never had the black and tans pop out on me, so it was surprising, and I was like very blown away by it. And I didn't believe it myself, to be honest, that it was a part of the. I'm like, man, that's they had to add something else in there. I had that cabaret bloodlines, and then that was like, wow. I mean, I was blown away. I don't understand it at all, but I'm always looking to learn. You know, I don't know everything. I know certain things. I speak on that, and that's why I reflect to Nate. Nate is a great resource. We want to all, you know, we want to be a resource, and I like to exchange the information and share back and forth with each other. I think it's important that we do that. I don't think that it benefits the greater good of us all if we just hold this information on and don't pass it on. This is going to go down in history, though. This will be, as we come back and report our findings, share this with the Boerboel community. And what it does really is it empowers us all. It makes us all better. And see, like I want to touch on this one dog real quick, Piona Luger, because in my research, I found something very interesting, and I'm going to see if y'all knew about this. This dog, his name is Piona Luger. He sired 236. This is a Calpoop grandson, heavily influential dog. I mean, he produced some bangers. Talking about, let's show some of his offspring. He produced like I think Maestro Trompi. I mean, look at this dog. This is a son of his. He's in my pedigree. He produced 236 children. I think one of the top producers of all time in terms of numbers. 1,925 grand pups, 4,696 great grand pups. We're talking about Piona Luger, this dog right here, born in 1995. So that's letting you know what was happening. We was really surging in popularity at this time. We're talking about the exporting was getting ready. The market was becoming aware of the world. The international market. So we was talking about the breed was surging in popularity. This dog sired 236. A DNA analysis determined that he was a CMRI1 carrier. And this is a defect that affects the dog's eyes. It doesn't cause them to go blind. It doesn't cause them to go. And that was something that I don't completely understand when they talk about a defect. If it doesn't cause the dog to go blind, it might cause them slightly irritation. I don't understand exactly how, if it doesn't affect the dog's quality of life, how is it a defect? But it is, I guess it's in our breed, and this dog may be responsible for that. I thought that was interesting, but I would like to know what, qualities.
I'm glad you asking that question and you put this dog up because, I'm reading the questions and this leads into a question I've been wanting to ask you. Great Greater Destroyer asked, he said, I have noticed that a lot of dogs from, that's not the question he asked.
We can show the question.
He said, where are the muscle dogs? I haven't seen any in years. And this is probably one of the dogs he's talking about. If you look at the muscles on this dog, where you can see the muscles on them, puts me in the mind of the common day dogs that carry that tone of muscle are like the D.O. Hahn dogs, like Texas bred Boerboel has some D.O. Hahn blood. But the Mastiff has big bones, wide, big bones. And like this Great Greater Destroyer said, there's not many that you see a lot of heavy muscle. Of course, they have muscle, but like this dog, you can see heavy muscle. I see that on some of the D-Hahn dogs nowadays. But his question is, where are all the muscle dogs at? What are some of the muscle dogs you see today? Like this dog, I can clearly see it in this dog.
Great question. Like the hard muscle dogs, I think that Colossus, probably Colossus, got the most muscular. His dogs look like they got big open pastures. I'm talking about, I see his pictures. I mean, a picture is worth 1,000 words. I'm looking at hundreds of acres, not nothing in sight. And I think that's a fundamental for the Boerboels that they need to be able to have this. Oh, we had somebody backstage. I didn't see him, but I think that's a fundamental for the Boerboels. They have to have that space, that room to run. While a lot of times, why I've seen a lot of programs fail because people keep the dogs in the crate, and Boerboel needs to be able to move around. I think that they waste away when you keep them in the crate, locked for
Yeah.
extended hours during the day. They
Yeah.
just don't.
So I mean, when you're talking about muscle, they aren't they aren't any different than humans. So that the problem you're not seeing a lot of muscle dogs over here in America because I mean, let's face it, a lot of people ain't running their dogs. A lot of people ain't allowing their dogs to run hundreds of acres all day long. It's just that's not how it is over here. So in order to have that muscle, you got to give them the means to build it. You got to give them the right food, the right exercise. And I mean, I know a few people that are behind the scenes breeders and not real big people that are doing weight pulls and stuff with their dog and stuff like that. And their dogs have muscle, but they're building them up. They're not just, there's a lot of people, I mean, including me, I ain't weight pulling my dog or, you know, anything like that. My dog's got an open pasture out here and they get to run, but they're not going to pack on that muscle that a guy that's tying his dog up to weights, you know, pulling weights all the time, you know, a couple times a week. He's not going to pack that same, he's not going to have that muscle tone. You're not going to see those little fibers and everything unless they're actually working like that.
Yeah, that takes extreme conditioning. It's a difference between the dog running around outside in the backyard playing or roughhousing in the pasture than the actual exercise where we're trying to achieve exhaustion, where we're trying to go through a matter of time, where we're going through a distance. We're going to cover a certain distance. You know, that's a workout. We have you know, whether it's based on the time or the distance or the amount of weight that's involved. You see what I'm saying? That's different. And you will have, I think it also has to do with the consistency. So that's when you condition the dog, that's something that you're going to be doing as a routine. It's not something that you do just, you know, you can do it once or twice and still get, you know, some good results for a nice picture, maybe 3 times a week. But to really get those striations in this like a bodybuilder like physique, to get them with you know, where you can see all of the veins and stuff. And that's going to take, you know, weeks in and weeks out. You got to be careful. It's hard to really achieve that with the Boerboel because it's a big dog. In my experience, I find that if you work them too hard, their body starts to break down, especially the larger dogs. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful. You got to be careful with the bigger ones. You know, the next day they'll be limping. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of impact on their joints. So you got to keep it. Swimming is really good for them. If you're going to do something with your Boerboel, that's one of the best ways to get that, achieve that muscular physique where it's popping out muscles left and right without impacting the dog joints. It's a great activity for the dog. It'll get them moving fast too.
Roman Price asked me, Jason, where did you find that info about black and tan? Has always been there. Well, I found it out from a member of SABS who probably doesn't want me to name drop him. He's a friend of me. He's one of my friend enemies. So I do have people from NABA and SABS that will talk to me privately on messages, even though they hate me. So they'll give me a little education. I'll get lessons from friends and from enemies and from people that don't like me. So I talked to a few people from SABS, and we were discussing some paper hanging a week ago. And we were talking about paper hanging led into how black dogs came in there. And then I got a free lesson from this individual about the black and tans and how they've been in there and they just weren't, I just said the word. No, I can't say the word.
Desire. They weren't a desire.
They weren't
They
desired.
didn't initially put them into the breed standard.
Yeah, just like a liver nose. Somebody asked about a liver nose. Just like a liver nose, it wasn't desirable, and you tried to breed it out. It's so hard to get a black and tan. You got, man, ask Nate how hard it is to get a black and tan, but it's been there. The black and tan's been there. It's just been so undesirable in the past that they attempted to breed it out, but you just can't breed something completely out most of the time, and it will pop up under the right circumstances.
Yeah, it's all about how that bloodline clicked. I haven't been able to get it. It's been elusive. I bred that dog for the second time. I've been using those lines that produced that black and tan. I haven't been able to get it. I was told in the original, you know, some of the explanations they said they didn't include the black and tan for fear of the Rottweilers. Same thing with a black dog for fear of the Rottweilers intermixing with Rottweilers. That was one of the things that they didn't want to happen. And I'm not sure how. I'm not 100% sure how many Rottweilers they had there, you know, in original. But if you look at any traditional guardian breed, black and tan pattern is there. Any of the historical guardian breeds, from the Tibetan Mastiff, Doberman, Rottweiler, you're talking about the Pinchers, you're talking about the Hounds, the black and tan exist.
So let me get that right. What you just said, Brother Jay, you said that it was undesirable and they tried to leave it out for fear that people would not because it was already, not because Rottweiler was already in there, but they had fear that people would take advantage of the color and sneak some more Rottweiler in there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yep.
Got you.
Yep.
Got you. Everybody catch that? So it wasn't Rottweiler, Doberman wasn't in the breed, but it was undesirable because they feared that people was like, okay, we have this color, let's sneak this dog in, or put the Boerboel into that dog.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of dogs. It only makes sense for it to be there. It's a lot of dogs that have it, a lot of dogs in our genetic makeup. It does it. Why would it not be included? I mean, why would that not express itself if so across the spectrum? We know that the Boerboel is basically evolution of multiple breeds included in it. It only makes sense for that to pop out at some point. Basically, we got almost every color pattern in the breed except for all white.
Well, they've even had some white ones though.
Yeah, that's what I was even gonna say that. I've seen some white ones too.
Yeah, I mean it's not common for sure, but yeah, you got the piebalds, you got ticking. I mean, all kinds of different coat patterns have popped up all over the place, and and that's why I always say there's registries that allow this and this registry allows that. Like they all have their own rules. So instead of, this goes for anybody. I personally, I'm not a big fan of piebalds, but there's people that are, and they're breeding those. I'm not sitting there knocking them saying that ain't a Boerboel or nothing like that, So same thing with the black and tans or blue and tans. You have all these genes. People are starting to come around and put this stuff together to do it on purpose to where it ain't an accident. But it's still coming from the same line of dogs. Like the dogs that I'm using are 100% DNA tested through, they're DNA tested. And I bought dogs from Africa. I bought the two blue and tans from Africa who were bred out of dogs that were made by highly respected breeders. Like the father of the blue and tans is CDH Mustang, and then the dam is owned by Kaleidoscope Kennels, but it was produced by Font Boerboels. I mean, these aren't people that are trying to pull strings and do things, but these dogs were put together and they happen to make that color, and they aren't allowed by SABs or anything like that, but I got my hands on them and they are allowed by the registry I'm using, and I'm going to continue to do my thing because that's what I want to do, and they're 100% Boerboels. And if people like it, that's great. And if they don't, we're all going to have fans and we're all going to have, haters. It doesn't matter what you do. So whenever it comes to dog breeding, do what you love and make what you want to make. I mean, if it's within the standard, there's people that do mixed mastiffs too. So, if it's within the standard and it's ethical, I don't say anybody's doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
To each his own. I think that with this modern day, knowing the information that we know now, we remember one of the things about dog breeding is about elimination. So we trying to arrive at this consistency. This is what I'm not sure about. You tell me your thoughts on this. Y'all can voice your positions for the record. I'm not one to looking for that every single dog in the litter look exactly the same. I think that the variety is the spice of life. When you have those different flavors in the litter, and I'm not saying I'm opposed to that, every dog being consistent in the litter, but I think I like a litter with different styles so I can kind of pick and choose. And I don't think that it's reasonable to expect all the dogs to be exactly the same every single time. You know what I'm saying? But that's how we arrive. That's what the whole point of purebred dog breeding is the evolution to try to eliminate the varieties that don't fit into this breed standard. So we would nowadays these dogs can be introduced to the market as pets, and it's like they got a way bigger appeal, way big appeal.
Oh, I didn't know I can do that. I guess that make it easier than me interrupting for a question. I'm learning. Hey, by the end of the year, this is going to be the best Boerboel podcast in history. Once we get everything together, this is going to be just like you tuning in to Joe Rogan, tuning into the Shay Shay Club. Hey, when you talking about Boerboels, this Boerboel breakdown and discussion is going to be the group. This is where you're going to want to go to figure out everything you need to know about past, present, future Boerboel situations, what you need to get into the Boerboels. If you want to be a breeder, if you're just a hobbyist, if you just want a beautiful pet, or if you just like hearing people talk about dogs. There's some people that just like hearing people talk about dogs, and not necessarily history, just talking about the dogs you like now, upcoming shows, situations that are going on in the Boerboel world. This is going to be your one-stop shop weekly to figure out this stuff.
That's right, big bro. We're gonna give it to them. We're gonna make it go from good. We're gonna make it go great. Every time I got this stream deck thing, I had this for months. I'm gonna figure out how to make this. We're gonna add some music and some sound effects. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make it sweet. We're gonna have our commercials in. You know, I want to start reward, engaging more with the audience, reward, shouting out our people's. I want to start seeing some of these dogs. I know people got some beautiful dogs, Boerboel family that's out there. We want to see your dogs. We want to celebrate with you. We want to have you and put you out there, show your hard work and everything, because that's what this is about. Establishing an equal, free place for everyone to contribute. We're all is welcome to share. We celebrate free speech. We welcome everyone is welcome here.
Open discussion. Everyone is welcome here. We'll be respectful, but open discussion, varying opinions. You don't have to agree with everything we said. We're going to come fact-based, and we're willing to learn. We want to help teach. We're willing to learn. This is a space for everybody. We don't care what registry you're in. We don't care what sex you claim. We're not banging over here. We don't care if you SABS, NABA, ARBA, AKC, NKC. We don't care. We just want to talk about Boerboels. Everybody, if you like us, if you don't like us, we want to hear your opinions. We all need to come together and figure out, again, everybody says the betterment of the breed. And that's what we're going to do on this breakdown when we discuss Boerboels.
That's right. That's right. Amen. For real. We're going way up, y'all. Way up. Let's get into the next dog of this, because this one was another interesting. This is another banger. This dog right here is like one of them ones, y'all. Corma Bucks. If you I know y'all heard of him.
Well, them Bucks dogs is real, man. They still got some fire in them now. I got a partner with some of those Bucks dogs, man.
Yeah, Corma Bucks. This is
okay. I got you.
Yeah, Corma Bucks.
Got you.
Corma Bucks. I think he might be related to Delma Bucks. This dog right here is the father of Cabaret Klein Bucks. This dog right here sired so many impactful dogs. It's ridiculous. You're going to see him. This dog produced Avanter Anton. Look at this dog, Boella. I mean, do your homework, do your research. You can look at Boella. Big chest. Look at the neck on this dog. I mean,
That's what I want to do consistently.
Yeah. I mean, and look at this. This dog was producing this.
So like Jason just said, he wants to do that consistently. So like you like the Jordan, you said you like the variety in the litter, and so like me, I'm more the consistent. I want to get to where my dogs, personally, I want them to have the look to where somebody can look at that and be like, yeah, that's Savage Kingdom Midwest dog, no matter what. So I'm trying to weed out the variety. I'm going to have the color, some color variety and stuff, but I do want to have, a certain build of dog. And I would like, and it's not possible, but I would love for all of them to come out just the way I would like them. But that's what I'm going to work towards, is get as many as possible.
And that's going to lead into what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, that a lot of people are afraid of in this breed is that subject of line breeding and inbreeding.
Hey, and right on
Take
cue,
some line breeding and inbreeding.
right on cue, we got a line bred dog, and look at these ancestors. I'm glad that you mentioned that. That's a great point to make. What you were saying. Look at this dog, Corma Bucks. We're talking about line breeding. Look at the way that he was bred. He's a cabaret Klein Bucks. This dog established the cabaret. This is the original cabaret dog. This, you see, before this, there was no cabaret. It's Wakasan Mitzi Corma Bucks. Okay. So this, in every single cabaret dog, this dog is present. And what is his cabaret Klein Bucks the result of? Lorina Mack, inbreeding off of Lorina Mack over a Donker Hood, a Calpoop. Remember, we mentioned that dog earlier. That's the one from 1981. So we see the Calpoop. They took him, a Calpoop daughter, bred it to Lorina Mack to produce Mitzi. They took Lorina Mack and bred it to a Dopper Ubas, a Doper Ubas. So you got Lorina Mack on top and bottom over a Dopper Ubas. I mean, this is what established the Corma, this whole, which is another Calpoop. So you see the Calpoop again. You see the Calpoop there again. This is a strong line breeding on these two phenomenal producing dogs in the history of the breed. So in my experience, in my pedigree research, what I find is the breeders tend to do is isolate these dogs that produce these certain phenotypes and then line breed on them. Here we go again. Look at this. So this is the Corma Bucks dog that produced the phenotype, which is off of the genotype of Lorina Mack over Calpoop. Okay, and on the back end, on the bottom side, which is the mother's bloodline, you got a Calpoop granddaughter, Piona Luger, over a Calpoop grandson. Under a grandson. Oh, yeah. So it's
did something happen?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you froze up for a second.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I was just looking at this, going through this pedigree, but you see this Ruster Vac. This is established. This was one of the dogs that established the Lulu dog. But yeah. So Corma Bucks, he sired 248 offspring. I don't know how many grandchildren, probably too many to count, too many great grands. But isn't it interesting how many puppies a single male dog can produce versus a female dog? And it's something to really take note of, because this is what makes a male dog so potent to the breed. Why they so the popular sire syndrome, because the male seed can be spread so far. So when you're talking about he produced 248 offerings, I just want to show a couple more Corma Buck phenotypes. You got Dr. Dominic. Look at that dog. He big, tall dog. Look at the chest. I don't know. You can't see much there, but let me see if I could pull up some more pictures of Dr. Dominic. This dog was an impressive dog. Yeah, we can't get too many pictures. But
thank you.
He was an impressive dog.
You're right. This is knowledge you can't buy, and I want to let you know again. This is, and we're going to be giving any piece of knowledge we have away, and we're going to be accepting knowledge. We have Mr. Roman Price on here giving us backstage lessons while we're giving lessons. So he's giving us some insights. Mr. Roman A. Price is giving us some insights, some good books to read. So again, we're going to be giving knowledge that we have, and we're going to be accepting knowledge. And this is, again, going to be your one-stop shop to learn what you didn't know. And hopefully every week we all walk away a little bit smarter, a little bit wiser on this breed that we all love. We all came to it at a different route. We came here on different paths, but hopefully we can forge one solid one together, and just for the breed that we all love, and sharing this knowledge and gathering together on a page like this is going to be the way we do it.
That's right. You know, it's about exchange information. This knowledge is power. I can't say that enough. Arm yourself with education and arm yourself with knowledge. That's something that they cannot take away from you. If you know what you're talking about, you can cite your sources. You can become more level of expertise. You know, you refine your level of expertise. It's like you investing in yourself. You know, instead of having idle time, you're making yourself stronger. You're making yourself a more valuable asset to yourself. And that's what this information exchange is about. So that's why I'm always looking to learn too. I never want to be so smart, you know, too smart, too big to learn. I'm looking for lessons all the time. I think that's one of the things that helped me arrive today, because I've never been too good. I never felt like I was too big to learn. And I'm always trying to read something, you know, even though I got my fresh book here. I've been taking this book here everywhere with me, and I ain't even had a chance. I haven't even read it. I'm like 4 pages in. I've been taking it everywhere though. But I don't have no TV. I don't watch no TV. I think this is something that I truly believe in. And I always feel like I'm speaking from only when I know. I'm only gonna speak on it when I know. I'm not gonna guess at something. I'd rather tell you I don't know. I'll go get back with you. You know, any question is a good question. You know, if we don't know, I'm not gonna sit up here and fake with you. I'll go and look it up and I'll get back to you and tell you what I can come up with.
Yep. And like another thing to touch on, like you're talking about the line breeding and the inbreeding and all that. Some people frown upon it. I'm for it. I have plans to do it in the future. I mean, you have to do it if you're going to create what you want. But if you don't know what you're doing with it, you only, like doing something like that, you're only using the very best dogs. You are not, you know, using something with, you know, a minor defect or something like that. So with that, I say, like, what I'm doing with my dogs is whenever you start line breeding and inbreeding, that's when you have more of a chance to bring out those genes that are bad for the breed, or you bring out the defects. So that's why I do my DNA testing as well and run embarks and things like that, because they run it for that part of the health testing, and you can see what genes that, you know, your dogs could possibly be a carrier for, or a copy. So if you find that you have a dog that's a carrier, let's say for what Jordan was talking about with the eyes, like, and you're going to do a line breeding or inbreeding, you want to do everything possible to not breed that to another dog that is a carrier of that same gene. Otherwise, your puppies have that chance of getting both of those genes, and then it ends up with that defect.
Yeah, it's almost a guarantee you're gonna have it if you double up on something like that. If you double up on the defect. And it's important to, you know, this is stuff that, you know, when you get a defect locked into your bloodline, you can't get that out. It's like, how do you get away from that? Because if you know, and that's where these pedigrees come in. You start to identify, okay, well, I need to get away from this combination of dogs. But guess what? There are no alternative lines. Bringing us to our next dog that I'm going to talk about, which is a extremely important dog. It's coming off the Eisterberg bloodline. This dog is a Vegar 3, one of the only alternative bloodlines available for use in the Boerboel breed, the Eisterberg line. This dog is largely
while you teeing this up, while you looking for this dog, I'm gonna run a question by you for you to give us at the end of the show, Jordan. Answer for
okay.
If people have ideas of what they want to talk about in the upcoming weeks, because we're going to have rotating topics again, informational, fun, and very informative shows, exciting shows. If people want to give suggestions, where can they give you suggestions at for upcoming topics in the next several weeks that we can come back to and discuss different sort of topics? If people out there, because again, this is going to be a very friendly show to all the listeners, and rotating through what we want to speak about, and also what they want to hear about.
Exactly. I think that's the main thing. You know, I feel like no question is a dumb question. You know, your question is welcome here. You can feel free. We're not gonna try to alienate you. We're not gonna try to put you down. You know, we all started out as beginners, so don't feel bad if it's something that you don't know. You know, you want to learn about the breed. We happy to help. I feel like this. I want to stand, like a mentor. I want to be a mentor. I'm really trying to ease back out of breeding dogs. Believe it or not, I would like to do something else. Enjoy my family. My daughters is getting old. I want to hang out with them some, and I haven't been able to do that. I want to travel. I've been in this place. I haven't been nowhere. Maybe that's why I behave the way that I do. But it's no problem. It's just I want to leave it in a better state than it started out with. When I came, it's not very welcoming. If you go to some of these places, if you see some of these groups and these boards, you see the way that newcomers are treated. You know, you scared. You see the veterans are treated. People that's been doing this are treated. It make you don't want to even participate.
Yep.
You know, it make you not feel good about sharing it. And I don't want this to be like that. You know, I want people to feel like, you got a place that you can come, you can call, ask a question. So we got this Board Buddy site. You know, if you want to come, check us out on that Board Buddy site. And that is a place where, hold on one second.
What Jordan is getting at is that we all love this breed so much. And again, like I said, we come from different paths. Sometimes there's going to be some drama. Sometimes there's going to be disagreements, and people are going to argue. And that's one of the reasons we're going to have this group, is that we can come here and not have the drama. We can have civilized discussions, topics, and learn on this group, on this podcast. We can set those petty differences aside, because I fall into the trap of arguing with people sometimes on social media. I get dragged into the mud, and sometimes I might drag other people into the mud. This is going to be the place where we relax, bring it down to a civilized tone, and we come here and make sure that we get the information we need for everybody to be successful. This is going to be that place, that group, and I'm going to keep stressing that. This is going to be the place that we all come to get positivity and to get the right answers. And if we don't have the right answers, there's going to be people tuning in that can help us find the right answers, or we'll go and do our homework and get the right answers.
Yeah, that's right. And that's what it takes, because we'll learn so much faster working together, off of our experiences. We get, because you bring in your day's worth of experience, your day's worth of research, I bring mine. Now we got 3 days worth of research instead of just one. It's like a compound and it multiplies. Y'all can hear me?
I can hear you. I'm looking at this dog you done posted up now. I know you were going to give us some great insight into this one.
Okay, yeah, so Vegar 3. I think this is number 5. This dog right here is the alternative line, right? So what they did was with the Vegar 3 dog, I didn't realize again that he was a Lorina Mack. Here we go again with Lorina Mack back in the mix. Lorina Mack, I think. There we go. So he's like a 3-time Lorina Mack grandson. Look at that. So here we start to uncover the original line, and that's why I said that this dog right here is so important. Even with this Iceberg bloodline, one of the only unrelated lines to the majority of the rest of the Boerboels, you still see this reoccurring ancestor, Lorina Mack. Reoccurring thing. And this dog had to, so that just tells you that it was something special about that dog. I hope that it was more than just a score. I can't see what's up, fellas. Okay, where we at?
Oh, you're good. We can hear it.
We can hear you.
So this Vegar 3 dog, if you had something off of this dog, you had something off this Vegar 3 dog, he produced tons of volume. So big. This is where the freakish heads come from. We was looking at that page. We were looking at a page earlier. It showed my friend Courtney G at the Iceberg farm. Wow, that was crazy. I wish I could have brought that back up. Let me see if I can find that page real quick. This my man's visited the Isterberg farm. This RIP to Courtney D. This was one of my original mentors. He went to South Africa. He was so impressed with this female dog that I had. He went to South Africa. He was a comedian, and he had went to the Isterberg farm. Gave me a call and told me, man, Jordan, I'm here in South Africa, and I'll show you. He's with the dude Stoffel. It's on this page here. But he said when he was there at the Iceberg farm, he saw tall dogs, big ones, small ones. He saw Harlequin colored Boerboels. He saw all different flavors and varieties. He was like, there was no consistency. He said he had them all running around in a pack, loose on the farm. There you go, right there. And you see it. You see, if y'all didn't know, y'all know Captain Williams was a dog man too. Look at that Darko. Look at that dog right there. Now, we won't be able to cover all 10 of the top 10 dogs. This is a Martin's son off of a Corma Bucks. So this is Corma Bucks over Martin's. This dog Martin's produced. But check this dog out, Dapper Darko. I just was in love with the way that dog looked. I liked the two-tone. I liked the way his chest was parallel. You know, the legs was parallel. You know, he got the perfect amount width between the chests, the front two legs. You know, they're not kissing at the knee, at the pasterns. I kind of got that's that. Oh, y'all didn't see that. I'm sorry. Y'all didn't see that.
Great the Destroyer.
But yeah, this is my guy right here. What'd you say, bro?
I was saying that another person, Great Destroyer, asked, do we believe that the best dogs are shipped to America? Do we believe that they ship the best dogs to us? That's a good question.
Here's how I'll answer that. I would say so. I have a couple dogs. I have 3 dogs actually that I imported. So one of them's older; it's about 4 years old. I was already able to see offspring, what it produced, and liked what I seen. It was offered to me. I would say I guess it's in what you're looking for and how it can add to your program. And then you have to do your due diligence of making sure that you're looking at the right dog. So what I mean is, like, you should do a video chat, video call, have them scan the microchip, all that while you're on video with them, so they know you're sending the correct dog and you're not looking at 2 different things or whatever. And then when it comes to puppies, you can't guarantee anything. So if you're buying anything from over there, if you're buying it here in America, it doesn't matter. You could have the biggest, heaviest bone, great looking puppy, and then somebody, you know, took home the runt, and next thing you know, whenever you get 2-3 years down the road, that runt turned out to be the stud of the litter. So you can't guarantee, if you're buying puppies from over there, I'd say you can't guarantee that anywhere. You're taking a chance when you get puppies. That's why you got to look for the consistency and trust the breeder and the breedings that they're doing. And that's why consistency is key. Like, you want to get that consistency so every client knows that they're at least that's going to be on the upper spectrum, you know, the possibility to have to breed, but you can't guarantee that you're getting the best whenever you buy an 8-week-old puppy.
Yep.
Yeah, it depends how you what you exactly that you're saying. So, see, I feel like size is elusive. The biggest puppy does not always end up being the biggest dog. So right. That's one thing that I like to point out. And also, I feel like you made a great point when you're saying buying puppies. I think that it's hard to guarantee because of the way that my style of breeding, when I'm breeding dogs that's unrelated at this stage of my evolution of my breeding program. What I'm saying when I'm not talking, not that I don't like consistency, because the consistency that I'm after is in the temperament. I want all my dogs to be able to fit in to the modern lifestyle, to any capacity, whether you're going to take this dog to the dog show, whether you're going to take this dog to a hunt, whether you're going to take this dog as a regular, just a pet. I want the dog to be able to fit in. That's the consistency versus The variety comes from the, you know, some dogs going to be taller, some dogs going to be shorter, some dogs going to be thicker, some dogs going to have a little bit more energy, some dogs, but I'm still looking for consistency, but it's just not in terms of, I like to look for my style of dog. So I got to remember, I'm trying to put this 160, 170 pound 10-mile runner. That's my goal. That's what I like, my personal.
And everybody has a different goal. Somebody's got something that they're trying to reach. So I guess that's where the consistency comes in. Being consistent for yourself would be the most important part. Being consistent for your program.
Yeah. And so I do eventually I do aim to achieve the consistency in the look in the pheno. But I feel like at first I have to arrive at my ideal at a 160. You know, right now I'm torn between the two. Like I got the looking dog is the looking dog is Balto, and then I got my working dog is Joku. I like to have Joku a little bit small. I think he about 126 to 131 pounds. You know, Balto doesn't have the temperament that I like in a dog.
So I don't know if we really answered the question or not. Hopefully we did. But if you're buying a puppy from over there, nobody's guaranteed anything. If you're getting an old dog, you can possibly see productions off of them. You can there's more pictures and videos. The dog's older. You're looking at what you're being offered, so that's your choice if it fits your program or not, or what you're looking for.
So,
of course, if somebody's got a dog that scores a 96 in their program, it's SABs even. They're probably not sending that to you.
Right.
I mean, I can tell you right now, I have a dog on my yard that I'm not sending to nobody. I mean, quite actually, he ain't going nowhere.
I ain't sending my boy Rex to nobody.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? I feel like the only way to really get that dog that you really want, you got to pull up and pick him up from the spot. You got to get there yourself and get that dog, because a lot of times you might not even see that best dog. You really got to know who you're working with. They got to be looking out for your best interest. It's something that you got to build. It's through that's why it's so important to develop these relationships. So when you find somebody that has the style of dog that you like, I wouldn't even import. I would go over there myself to get the dog. You know, that's my advice to anybody that's considering importing, because even if you look, Terry Allen just was going through a situation where she shipped a whole bunch of money over there to South Africa. The breeder told her everything was good. She was going with someone I had never heard of. She shipped her money over there. Terry Allen's a nice lady, very fair person. She shipped her money over there, and then they just ran off with the money. You're talking about a lot of money to South African too. The exchange rate is 19 to 1. Mm-hmm. So you're talking probably $6,000 to $7,000 she sent over there. I'm just going to assume they ran off with the bag and then send her back half the money, saying that the shipper ran off with the money. But she sent all of her money to the breeder, and the breeders vouched for the shipper. Just too much a messy situation, and you really have no recourse. That would be my main concern, dealing with a trusted party.
Yep, I definitely agree. And fortunately for who I dealt with, there was lots of communication. There wasn't anything that ever seemed off. I don't know. So I mean, I have some ties over there that I know if they tell you you're getting something, that's what you're getting. But if you're just looking at breeders over there and you decide to choose one, you better try to find somebody that's done some dealings with them in the past. Right.
I would look and see the track record. Have people imported dogs from them, and what do those dogs look like that was imported? One of the only breeders that I feel like that I would say has been consistent in that regard for that I've seen is Carleen Grief with Africa Boerboels. That's I plan on using some of those blood in my program. We got a great comment from Mr. Price. Mr. Price, we gotta get you figured out, man, how so you can come on with us. Yeah. Mr. Price just got a plethora of knowledge. He's a student of the game. There is a point.
He needs to get in here on video and do some talking.
He suggested a
Right.
couple of books that we all should read, and Mr. Price, I'm going to read those books you suggested. I'm gonna take a look at it, and to kind of piggyback off what he's saying, there's a couple of points early in the pup's life that you will give the greatest idea of what the pup will be. I've been told by older breeders that that point that Mr. Price is talking about is right around 6 weeks, and right about 6 months. You will kind of get a snapshot of what you'll have after 2 years. For just briefly at 6 weeks, for a few days, when they're going through these changes, you'll get a quick snapshot of possibly what you'll have. And then roughly again around 6 months, when they're going through that, starting that growth spurt for males, you'll kind of real quick get a snapshot when they're going between those awkward stages of what you'll have. You have to be more experienced to know what you're looking at. But if I'm right from what I was told, those are some of the timelines where you'll get a quick glimpse of what you possibly will have at full grown.
Yeah, exactly. Right there at 6 weeks, I'm agreeing 100%.
Yeah. Real quick at 6 weeks, you'll get a snapshot. Okay, this is what
Like,
it's going to kind of look like on a larger scale.
Yeah, I call it the preview.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, the preview. I like that. That's the preview.
You get a nice little preview right there at 6, but you got to know what you're looking for. You got to kind of be able to reference your previous litters and be able to say, okay, this dog is going to look like this. He going to look like this. I remember when Outlaw was a puppy, this is how Outlaw looked. Let me grab my Outlaw out that litter. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why I say it's you go. I don't really mind because I know exactly the dog that I'm looking for. Well, I got an idea.
Yeah. So same thing. If you're a newer breeder, it's probably going to be a little bit tougher for you to choose what's better or what to look for. You know, it takes some time and eyeing things to start learning what exactly you're looking for, tail sets and things like that. Because you don't want to just pick a puppy just because it's the cutest or whatever. I mean, there's certain things that you will look at on that 6 and 8 week old puppy to hopefully make the best judgment. Obviously, it's just not always a guarantee that it turns out that way in the end. But from the beginning stage, that's where you're choosing from, that 6-8 week mark. That's where you're making your first choice. So that's where you take.
You don't want to just choose the biggest head, bone, and chest.
Right? Yeah. It's not always the biggest puppy. It is not always the biggest puppy. Like I explain that to my clients all the time. So again, when we're talking about the runt thing, I had a client that has bought a repeat client. Love them, support us. They're great people. They bought a really big puppy off of Diesel and Aria. I mean, this girl is she was 11 months, 130 pounds already, big, broad chest. They come back as a repeat client to get one off of Death and Zendaya. And whenever they got here, like the pictures and everyone they got here, he was the smallest puppy. So they're like, you know, did I give this, you know, whatever. And I got the runt and I was just like, hey, I was like, and I looked at all the other puppies, but I was like, trust me, this dog had a big round crown. You could tell like he wasn't even getting ready to, you know, as a puppy, he wasn't even spreading yet. I was like, you can just tell this dog's got the heavier bone. This is what you're looking for. And now that dog is bigger than their female at 7 months old already. So you got a 6 month difference, and that dog's bigger than their female. So they were very pleased. And he's got a huge rear, muscular rear, huge chest. I mean, like he's looking very good. So you can't just choose the biggest puppy and be like, this is the best. It's not how it works.
Right. That's why I tell people that all the time. I'm a gauge of energy, though. I find that the dogs, the slower moving, the lumbering dogs, that's a good indicator. It's like, because the larger dogs to me have a sloth-like movement.
Mm-hmm.
You look for that furry, that dog that's real furry. You know, that
was him. That was him.
Yeah.
He was furry and he was slow.
Yeah. Kind of laid back, lighter on the energy side. That guy that's bouncing all around, that's jumping on all of the puppies. That's the one. That's gonna be I call him the troublemaker.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's your working dog though.
Yeah. Yeah. Them little guys, the little MFers. Little MFers.
The ones that drive you crazy. You can't wait for them to pick them up.
Yeah, right. Joku used to beat up all the other puppies, man. He used to be beating them up. I'm like, I love this dude. He a menace to society. He is a menace. But I like it. I like, well, as I'm getting a little bit older, though, I'm kind of shooting for more moderate, that more moderate energy, laid back and relaxed. You know, the dog can just chill, because I get tired of making correcting the dog. Constantly get back over there,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, okay. So we got one more. We got another question that popped in. Hey, I hope that y'all enjoying it, because I'm loving this, man. This is a really great show. I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. This has been beautiful.
This is going to be a joy to do weekly. I'm going to keep plugging that. This is going to be a joy to do weekly. Spread all our everybody that's been watching today, everybody that's going to watch this throughout the week. I know during the week people are going to be watching this. Tune in on Thursday for us, next Thursday. And if you don't catch it live, we'll be going live on all the platforms. If you don't catch it live, you can come back and watch it at your leisure throughout the week. So it's going to be up there. We're going to figure out how to get it also linked to my Instagram, so we can just get this out here to more people. Hopefully we get amazing people, if they're not in the show, but asking questions like Mr. Price has been doing, are answering questions. It's going to take a village. It's going to take a village to do what we're trying to do. Again, I surround myself with smart people like Jordan and Nate. I'm just here to keep the show moving, answer some questions, and keep it moving.
Well, I vote Mr. Price jumps on next week so he can school us, because he's obviously got some knowledge that I don't have.
We'd love to have him.
Yeah, I bumped into Mr. Price in the class online. I couldn't believe it. I said, Mr. Price, what you doing in here? It was at the Institute of Canine Biology. We was both studying preservation breeding. But that's just it's always to be in great. It's a honor to be in such great company. You know, I feel the loyalty, man, the camaraderie that we building. I think that it's a model for other breeds. You know, the Boerboel community. Look what we got going on, y'all want to see how it's supposed to be done? Y'all come check out what we got going on inside of Boerboels TV. Is with the Boerboel breakdown and discussion. You know, and with our show, we're gonna show everyone how to get along and how to keep it positive and up, inspirational and uplifting.
We got egos in our everyday life, but when we come on this show, it's set to the side to learn and help disseminate knowledge. There's no egos on this show. It's no belittling what you do know and what you don't know. Everybody's going to come here for a positive experience, and varying opinions is what's going to help us all come to. And we encourage varying opinions. We prefer facts and straight knowledge, and that's how we'll all grow and get something out of this. And the dogs will get better because of it.
Yeah, exactly. The breed, because at the end of the day, we're going to need each other. Trust me. We got a good question coming in from Gray Destroyer. I think this is one to show. And I want to get your thoughts on this. Are the Easty Westy feeding a genetic thing, or how the puppy was raised?
I say both.
Yeah.
There's some, I would say some of it's in the genetic for sure, but I would say also I've seen it. Honestly, I had a pup that I had that so like whenever it was younger, it was put in a kennel with like the wire bottom or whatever, and it was there for a little bit. I mean, I'm talking a small puppy because it wasn't as big as the others, so we were getting it better. And I honestly think with it being inside of that kennel, the wire bottom a little bit at 6 weeks or whatever to 8 weeks, 9 weeks, getting it better. I think that being on that and its feet turning all goofy ways and being on a flat surface, that was my mistake early in breeding. I think that was an attribute to some of its rear feet pointing out.
Yeah.
There's some things that can happen to the dog. Some things that can happen to the puppy in the whelping box that will mimic a genetic disorder. So you can do things to a puppy's joints or stuff at an early age of life that will mimic something genetic, and it'll be hard to tell without testing whether that was genetic or whether the breeder caused that in the whelping box.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I think it's 50-50 because when you say it's genetic or is it environmental, because the dog, I don't know if it's because of the excessive weight gain, dog growing fast. Because Balto has, that's the one thing, every now and then he'll throw that post where he easty westy in the front. I really would like to straighten that out. I think that because he's a larger chest dog, though, that's part of what I desire is, he got that big head, excessive bone, and the bigger dog. So I'm like, you compromise that. I don't know if I could solve it with my younger puppy that I have that I'm keeping back now, that I'm raising up, my red boy. I noticed that I'm trying to keep his pastern straight. I think it's something that's in the breed, though. You know what I'm saying? I feel like even the best dogs have that easty westy in the front. It's just heavy in our breed.
I like it says, like you said, I agree. It's both. So like another example that could cause that, if you think about it, you got a lot of people that have tile floors, wood floors, things like that. Dogs slipping. To keep their balance when they're a puppy, they're gonna turn their feet out to try to make that contact with the floor. Like that's what they're gonna use to balance. That way they're not slipping on that floor. So things like that, slick surfaces. And if he's on that slick surface for the majority of his time growing and he's not having the grip to use his legs and his feet right, that could also cause that.
I tell my clients all the time, your only job is to protect your dog's joints and elbows. Slick floor surfaces. If you have a lot of tile floors, or if you have that type of slick flooring, you got to get some throw rugs. You got to put throw rugs. If your dog, when it's laying down and it's going to stand up, if it's sliding and spreading out wide to stand up and kicking his legs, you're hurting that dog's joints and elbows every time it lays down and tries to stand back up. So you got to have a kind of surface that the dog has traction on. So there's certain things you can do. Again, like we said, it's 50-50. There's some stuff you can do that will mimic a genetic disorder. So it's your job, again, to grow the dog slow. These dogs have a predetermined size. What you feed that dog can accelerate its growth, but that dog is going to get to the size it's going to get to. It's going to get to that size on its own time. You can accelerate it, and you don't want to accelerate it. You don't want to accelerate that dog's growth. Just because you stuff it full of food doesn't mean that it's going to end up bigger at 4 years old than it would have if you didn't stuff it with food. Again, there's a Mother Nature determined the size of that dog when it popped out. It's just how long is it going to take to get there? You can get it there in 15 months, or you can let it wait to get there at its right time at 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, you just slow and controlled is my ideal. I feel that's my motto. I feel like one of the biggest mistakes that we make in America, period, is we overeat. We oversatisfying ourselves with food. And then we tend to pass that on to the dog. I think that it's important to sacrifice. Some days to go without. You gotta know how it is to go to feel the flip side. Hunger. It fuels the tiger. It's gonna make you stronger. It's gonna make you hustle harder. It's gonna make you work harder. You're gonna have more energy, and it give your body a chance to rest and relax and grow in appropriate ratios. It gives you, especially with the way the dog foods are, the balances and the ratios is off depending on how much energy that the dog is expending. May not be using certain things. It doesn't need all those calories necessarily. So on certain days, my dog just gets this. I got my little baby's bed right here, but this all he gonna eat sometime. This a rib bone. Okay. You know what I'm saying? He done chewed off the things or whatever, but this he can gnaw on this for the whole day. and then he gonna get little small thing pieces off whatever he gonna get to eat. He gonna have to get it off of here. That's it. And force him to work for his food. Force him to go through a miles. Hey, you can be a little hungry every now and then. I feel like even the children need to be a little hungry every now and then. Just make them stronger.
That's getting into a topic that we might dwell into today, because being a fat guy like myself, I've been doing some research, and if we look at it just genetically, and this is my getting it off task, but we weren't meant to eat every day. In the wild, we foraged and we got some nuts and berries here, but we weren't eating 3 square meals a day. And if you look in the wild, a wolf, wild animals, they'll track down, kill a prey. They'll eat it for a day or two till it's gone, and then they might not eat for 3 or 4 days. They might not eat for 3 or 4 days, and we think of that as cruel with our pets. But there's scientists are going around now that a lot of diseases start right in your gut, and that if you reset your gut by fasting a day or so, again, I'm a fat guy, so I'm not fasting. But
It looked like you was coming down, son. You're doing something there.
Oh man, it's the lighting, man. I turn that lighting on to get my good angles.
So I'm a proponent. I'm definitely a proponent of that, and I've lived it. I've fasted, done all that. So and all that stuff that he just said is true. So we do fast our dogs from time to time here at Savage Kingdom.
Nothing wrong with that. And
we do skip a day of feeding to give their stomachs and stuff a reset, because that truly is, like, if you think of dogs and their health issue, like, you can Google it all the time. They always say that things start in their gut, and humans are no different. So I fast myself at times, along with Autumn, and then so we fast our dogs as well, because we've done that research and seen the very same thing. No dog eats. I'm a big hunter too, so no dog or wolf or coyote is eating regularly every day. They're not gorging, or they're not getting 6 to 8 cups, 10 cups, and being fat. That's why every dog in the wild is lean, they're agile and able to do all that stuff, because that's the way they're built, and they're hunters, and they reset their system. They don't eat every day, bottom line.
And guess what? These dogs aren't dying of cancers and diseases. They're dying of what they're supposed to, of old age, when they're too old to hunt. So they're not dying of cancers and diseases like that. They get too old to hunt. They'll lose teeth because of old age, so they can't really eat their food. And so that's what these dogs in the wild and predation, but they're living long, healthy lives, versus our dogs that the nutrition, we haven't got it nailed down right, and we're not feeding them at the right increments. So there's a lot of stuff we can do to help our dogs out some.
And don't forget to note the dog in the wild, that wolf in the wild, or even the feral dog, they're living without vet intervention. Yeah. They're living without no antibiotics, nobody to care for their wounds. So you got to remember, it's combat, kill or be killed. Only the strong survive. Young dog take the place of the old dog in order to hold that spot. So it's not like they dying because, like you said, they tend to die from injuries or something like that. Not because they health failed them.
Yeah.
Yep. And so, like, again, that's like we feed our dogs deer here. We kill a lot of deer. So another thing that people don't know, like wild dogs, they get aroma and all those type of things like our dogs are. So for anybody that don't know, feeding your dogs wild animals, the whole animal is a good thing. Like the hair from that, if you see a coyote's dropping, it's full of hair. So one thing that does is that sweeps their intestines for the worm eggs, worms, and all that stuff. That's their natural dewormer. When they're eating those animals and eating the hide and eating the hair, that is what sweeps their intestines, the parasites and things like that as well. So that's another thing. Whenever you feed your dogs, if you want to feed them raw or feed them something wild, give them the whole animal. Let them tear it apart. Let them eat the hide. All that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they would chew it down too. And you'll see, like, man, it was eating fur. And they come out in the back end like a snake.
Yeah, and that first uses a lot of functions, just like Nate was just saying. People don't realize that they eat the whole prey animal. Again, it helps sweep for worms, and also when you see dogs that need to be in their butt when it needs to be, what's it called again?
The
Uh,
gland.
the glands. That
Yeah.
fur, when it actually coming out in that bone, it squeezes the anal glands and expresses it for them in the wild. Again, there's no vets expressing anal glands out there. Nobody going out there squeezing those butt cheeks out there for these wolves and coyotes. But that bone and that fur is helping to express that stuff for them. So when you feed a whole prey diet, which is absolutely the best thing you can feed a dog, if you have the time and inclination. Again, you just can't throw out some pieces of chicken. You have to do the diet right because they need those secreting organs. They need a
Those
certain
secreting organs.
they need all of that stuff. They need some of that stomach lining. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago with that green tripe. They need the complete raw diet, the complete whole animal. And I know some of us, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see eating a baby pig or eating a rabbit and stuff, which we'll feed these dogs that because that's what they eat out in the wild and it's good for them. I know some people are sensitive to that, but we'll dive into some of those topics. Those are some good topics to circle back around whole prey diets and what they can do for the animal. And what do people think about that? Is that bad to see something like that? I actually think that is important for us to see. I think that is something that we should be able to show on the.
Oh, snap. Phone call. You
Got
got
that
it?
phone call. We're losing you. You got that phone call. But yeah,
Yeah, the
piggybacking.
diet is key though, because that's one of the ways that we show love to our dogs. Mr. Price, I was laughing at his comment. Did y'all see it? Mr. Price said
No.
he fasted his dogs yesterday. He said he got to the farm today. He said they was barking cuss words.
Yeah,
He said,
them puppies are used to eating every day. They ain't
yeah,
used to
did
that
it?
process.
Yeah, you're
They're
gonna see a whole nother level of dog. You're gonna see a
Yep.
whole nother level of dog. My big bruh, he been feeding the tripe and he fasted his dogs. He said, man, don't give me that. Hey, don't the puppies can't eat the tripe. You got to take them out. I said, man, you got to feed them every day. He said they be fighting like crazy when them days that he don't feed them that tripe. Yeah, they gotta
Yeah.
eat that. They gotta eat. They gonna stay. You start giving your puppies tripe because you remember this. If you're giving them whole pieces, they're gonna bite and choke.
They got
They're gonna
pulled.
be doing. They're doing a lot of this with that tripe. A whole lot of this, and that's just teaching them to chew, 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 chew. So now, you done strengthen the jaws, and they can get in. When they get into it, it's a little bit more serious. So it's really important. I don't feed my dogs no pork. Somebody asked a question.
No.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny, Mr. Price. I have had bad experience with the pork. What y'all
Pork.
say?
So same here. I actually had I had a bloodhound before I got into the Boerboels and everything, and I did feed pork, and he ended up getting parasites from the pork. I had a pork farm, so me and Jason had this discussion before. I have pork farms all around me, and I can get hogs anytime I want to. And I let that dog chew on hogs and all that stuff, and he ended up with parasites, and it did a number on him in the end. So yeah, I do not whether it's store bought or anything. I won't feed my dogs pork as well. You're on mute or something, Jason. Can't hear you. Nope, I ain't got you. Lost Jordan too.
What's up, y'all? My fault. I guess we out of space.
we out of space on the computer, and it caused this whole show to crash. But hey, I appreciate everyone that came in. Like I said, we gave y'all extra today. We gave it to y'all straight, not late. Well, because we was late, gave y'all just a little bit extra. Everybody that came, listen, we appreciate your input. We appreciate y'all that joined us. Where y'all at? Okay, here we go. Hold on, my fault. Something happened to my computer. I guess it was it ain't used to us going hard like this.
Yeah, we put it in today.
Yeah. But yeah, so my fault, y'all did. So we had some questions that says never feed pork. One of them, I was just telling everybody we appreciate everyone that's joining. We growing, we getting bigger, we getting stronger, and we gonna get better. I feel like I really have fun. I have fun every single time. But today it seemed like it was just a little bit, it seemed like every time it's a little bit more fun. And you know, the main thing is though, you know, like Nate, you came, you offered some insight that we hadn't have a great perspective coming from the genetic background, your inputs, man. They valued Mr. Price, everyone that contributed, great the destroyer, co-pilot, co-ski pilot, Auntie Jam, Chuck Spears, what up, bruh? Roman, Mr. Price, everybody that came, man. We cannot do this for y'all. So it's a community-based thing. Anything y'all want to say in closing out, man?
Hey, no, thanks everyone for joining. Had a lot of questions. If we missed some, we're sorry. Come back. We'll get you.
That's right. We gonna get you together. What you say, Jay? Your volume went out.
You just want to wave goodbye? All right. We'll be talking to you all later. See you next week.
All right, yeah. Peace, y'all. Much love. Thank you for joining. I hope y'all gained something. And listen, if not, we're gonna give it our best shot next time again. Until we meet again, my friends. Boer to the max. Boerboel to the max. We going way up. Max out. Salute. Peace, y'all. Much love.
No rush, go on, move dumb. Back and forth, push and shove. Make your peace and love turn to peace and gloves. Now you got a deal run up. No rush, go on, move.